man. Let's see. Ooh, air yachts. Y'all think they still got them boots there with the horns on them? Dang. Hey everybody, welcome back to Full Blast Garage. On this episode, we're gonna take these tiny hog ring pliers, put them on full blast. Make sure you do it on full blast. All right, so if you couldn't tell, this episode we're gonna dive on into the interior of this Dodge truck, and it's gross. I'm not gonna lie, there's no other way around it. I've ordered new upholstery, got new visors, I got new carpet kind of up there just laying on the floor, stretching out. They say to, on a bright sunny day, stretch it outside, let it sit for a day, kind of unwrinkle. So I used, all that advice and stretched it out on the floor of a 40-degree shop for about 10 minutes. She'll be fine. What else do we got? So, and also, when the carpet's up, it's a good time for us to go ahead and plate the floor. And it's not like the actual fabricating plate. Like I'm literally going to use license plates if I uncover holes. I got a feeling there's one in each cab corner, about yay big. I don't know. I feel like I could see a little bit through a little daylight before when I was working on it. But as far as this rig goes, that's kind of astonishing. I've had square bodies where essentially everything was kind of gone from underneath it. And I don't think this thing was treated any better than anything else out there. I think it just sat in the field. And from all the feed sacks that just kind of froze and stuck itself and embedded it in the bed, you could tell this thing was used as a ranch truck. So it got some miles put on it that were hard, real hard miles. But it's time to kind of revamp everything, make it look not like new, but as new as this thing can be for a reasonable amount of money. LMC truck has all, the seats, the visors, the carpet, everything, and they're pretty reasonably priced. That's who I use for almost everything. They're kind of on the smaller side. I still believe they're privately owned. So that's a plus. I want to help out the small people. Of course, the people that are supplying parts for us and the restoration and hobby business, support those people. And in the past, I've had good luck with their upholstery kits, especially on these bench seats. It's kind of like a hard to mess it up scenario. You literally just pull it over, hog ring it down, and go. Keep on moving. But let's go ahead, dive into the truck. I'm going to pull the seat out first and we can assess, what kind of treasures we got under it, because I've literally never cleaned anything out the inside of this truck. The little bit of wiping down that I did in the last video of the dash, that's the extent of the inside clean out that I've done since I've owned this. When you're painting and sanding, doing anything like that on a vehicle, just leave the inside alone. All you're doing on the outside, it's going to end up inside the truck, whether you try to stop it or not. So just let it be. Clean it up when you're done getting the outside right. So let's pull the seat, assess the floor, and see what kind of shag carpet we got under that bench seat. Oh, well, some of you might be asking, why am I climbing under the truck to take the seat out? This year Dodge, they got bolts kind of riveted to the seats, and they go from the top down, and there's a nut on the bottom side. I've already hit them with some PB Blaster, let them sit. I'm gonna hit it with just a little bit of MAP gas. They don't look great, but you guys, if you're doing this on your own, have a fire extinguisher handy. I got one just literally kind of right behind the camera over there. I have a couple actually. Keep any of the ones that kind of get out of date from the fireworks stands. They're coming to the shop because you never know when a fire might break out here. Sketchy stuff that we do, but you want to heat them up, but remember on the other side you got carpet, and carpet's pretty dang flammable, but try not to put that much heat into it, just a little bit. Well, is it on fire up there? Y'all let me know. Come on, these are 1/2-inch nuts down here. Yep, you can tell why I had to heat them a little. Whew, a little smoke coming off those, good Lord. Man, I hope these guys go back on okay. All right, no smoke. This one might look a little worse than the first one. Come on, get on there. Trying not to just give it all the good gulf. Just kind of slowly bring it down. But they both came off. They're probably hot as the sun. But those two came off. I'm gonna go ahead and jump on the other side, and then I'll use all the forces of He-Man to get that seat out. She looks heavy. Whew. Just preparing for it. She don't look light. Oh, are the seat belts? No, they're not part of the seat. They look like they're moving exactly at the same pace there as the seat, but I guess there's just some slack in them. All right. So now what I'm gonna do is tilt. Oh man, that's crunchy sounding. Pull the seat belts out. Those guys, I do not think I'll be reusing those. I do have seat belts. Trying to think, I remember seeing them, now I don't, so I have to look for those, but ooh, just rust everywhere. Of course, there's a million things for the studs on the bottom of this thing to get hung on. All right. The power of Grayskull. Whew, just like nothing. All right, guys, so tech tip. On these seats that have the studs like this, before you go setting it down and dragging it all over the concrete or in the dirt, just get your nuts started. You ain't got to run them down. Just get them started on there, and that'll kind of protect your threads, because you'll mar up the threads and you'll have to try and tap them or something, run some sort of dye around them to clean them up. But this is just kind of easy insurance to keep you from messing up your threads. So definitely do that. All right, guys, so what treasures have we unearthed? I mean, mainly dirt. I don't know what that was a piece of, but of course we found a dirt dauber nest. This truck's full of them. But it looks like somebody deleted on the carpet all the way across. I don't know if that's how they did it from the factory, but there is like a thick, I don't know if that's sound deadening material or what, but like a backing material that's still here. We got the seat belts. Ooh, ponies. Oh, that's got somebody's address on it. Whoever used to like looking at this cowboy. NRS World. And it's been here a while. Man. Let's see. Ooh, air yachts. Y'all think they still got them boots there with the horns on them? Dang. All right, so now there's nothing. Can't believe it. I'm just gonna go ahead and pull all the carpet out, simple green it all, everything, because I'm sure there's some mouse remnants in here somewhere. Throw that outside, let it soak up, the next 2 days worth of rain before I throw it in the trash can. And we'll start moving on with the seat. The carpet's going to be a little bit tricky because we're going to need to cut out holes for the seat, but at least we can do that from underneath. Then we just got to do something for the belts, and that's it. 4x4 shifter, we're good. I'd say on the carpet side, this should be one of the easier ones we do. Y'all like how that map light's working? Man, eventually everything in this truck will work, I promise. We're getting there. All right, well, I'm gonna get to work. Maybe put some gloves on. I don't want to touch rat poop. Well, amidst all the debris, found the owner's manual a little worse for wear. So that is the 100 to 350 and Ramcharger, 1984. Then you always know you bought a real special rig. There's a used Bondo scraper on the floorboard. Bondo's still attached, in case y'all are wondering. So that lets you know just how nice a rig this is, and hopefully y'all won't hate me for screwing license plates to the floorboard, because I think she's going to need a few. All right, unveiling. We got some real nice shiny paint right there. That looks good. But we got drain hole that wasn't plugged. And let me see if I can grab a light here. So I guess Dodge, in their infinite wisdom, kind of left that cavity open and covered it with foam, because that looked factory, that hole open and then foam on top of it. But there's also a rust spot that has developed right there, if you can't see it. Little piece missing there, little piece missing here, little piece missing right there. So how are we going to attack the rust on this? So the rest of this is surface right here. This isn't bad. This has all been hit with a screwdriver. Nothing's going through. This stuff, on the other hand, here in the corner, I'm going to hit that with expanding foam. And because everything's kind of some weird angles, and I don't want to cover up my seatbelt hole here. It's still solid, even though there's rust 1.5 inches away from it. I'm going to hit everything with expanding foam in the hole. The rest of this is going to get some cloth fiberglass action. So be mixing a little glass, laying it. And yes, I know this is not the right way to do anything. Not exactly what I'm going for on this truck. It is a cheap, easy, ultimate DIYer rebuild. This doesn't need any kind of special tools or anything. So anybody can mix up some glass and lay it in. And over here also, so we got some worse rust This stuff here is more solid. Where it starts to give it up is right here. You can kind of see where I punched through in a few spots. And then over here, we got a layer that's on top of the seatbelt bolt over here. We're gonna glass all that. So we've got that hole, and I'm just gonna carry it over all the way on all this rusted area, just in case there's something I missed that maybe, you know, is right on the cusp of going through, but it didn't. But it's all gonna get a layer of glass. Same story on this side too. Big old hole. Pretty sure that's how it is from factory. It just had like a piece of cell foam, like open cell foam. It essentially probably turned into a sponge, and that's why there was so much rust over here in the rockers on each side. And also, got that guy we got to plug. You know, your buddy Earl, he works at Radio Shack, and he don't charge a whole lot to put the CB radio in. He'll just run a hole, like a 3/4 inch hole right through the back of your cab to run the antenna wire. Don't do that, people, please. Look, there's a body plug right there. You literally, I bet there's not even a brace under there to get to. Like, you could have went through there. You could have run up to the front. There's all kinds of wires up here. There were better options than just plugging a hole straight through the back of the cab. But man, this thing had like an awesome paint job on it, like a mineral gray looking, dark gray color. But the coolest thing, it's kind of, there we go, it kind of shows up pretty good on camera actually. There's like a stamp for the steel that shows through. It says Midwest Steel, Division of National Steel Corporation. And there's the logo. I've never seen that on a floorboard. I don't know if the paint just didn't cover it enough and it bled through, or if that's something they added afterwards. I have no idea, but that's pretty cool to unearth that and it still be in that good a shape. But I'm going to go ahead and grab the expanding foam, tackle the corners here, and while that sets up, I'll start mixing up the glass. Well, everybody, tell Chip Foose to close his eyes because we're about to jump Snake River Canyon with this stuff. Oh, man. You really want to get it in there. But just keep in mind, this stuff, it does expand. And we'll probably just, well, we got a little bit right there. We're a little low. We got a low spot. That ought to do her. Y'all think this thing will shoot all the way up to the sliding glass by the time it's done curing? Maybe like up to here? I don't know. Maybe this high. We'll see. Oop. Get down in your hole. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and patch up the driver's side just as well as I did over here, and we'll start glassing. All right, so I got my woven cloth laid out where I'm gonna resin. There's a spot over there too. So in everything, I backside taped. So I don't want the resin falling through. It's okay if it penetrates. I just don't want it dripping on the floor. That's honestly all I'm doing. This stuff's super thick, and especially with this tight woven cloth, not a lot of it's gonna fall through. I just want to prevent a ton of it from getting on my floor. But what I'm gonna do here is mix my fiberglass up. I got a little chip brush. I'm gonna take that glass and just work it into the cloth. Work it, work it, work it. These are our kind of our 3 spots here on this side. 1, 2, 3. And I just went ahead all the spots, you know, that were kind of questionable, we're just going to glass over it all the way across. And see how I took care here not to wrap over the top of my bolt hole. So I'm going to keep that resin away from any bolt holes. You get that stuff in there, you're going to be rethreading a hole. So it's going to harden up really hard, and essentially you'll have to tap it. But this is what I use here. So it is the fiberglass woven cloth, not the chop. And it's flexible for contouring to surfaces. And it will repair small to large holes, cracks, rust outs, or gouges in any fiberglass metal. So see, I'm using it exactly how it's meant to be used, but it's really, this is as like corner cutting as it gets. If you really don't care, all I want to do is seal out the exhaust gases, all the smells coming from the engine into the cab. That's it. This is not for reinforcing, bringing any kind of structural stability back to the truck. This is for sealing purposes. I mean, the right thing to do is cut, patch. Did that on the Trans Am. Not doing it on this thing. The Trans Am was a slightly, desirable car. This is a $1,300 farm truck that we're probably gonna put around town and take to car shows, like as a joke. I mean, it has no paint on it. So let me go ahead and mix my resin up. If you guys have never bought fiberglass before, I just use the old Bondo liquid fiberglass, and it's got a mixing directions here on it. And I normally just kind of eyeball it. You'll know if you're using way too much and it kicks over too fast before you get a chance to put any on. Just back it off a little bit, if that's happening, because you'll have catalyst in here to mix. Oh, if I can open it. They really don't want you to steal that catalyst. Maybe. There we go. So, and it even says, I don't know, it's got at least a milliliter scale on here. And I think it tells you how many to use. And I do have a measuring cup if I needed to go like specific ounces. But yeah, go ahead, mix up your glass and let's start dabbing. All right, so one of the mixing options was quarter can, half a catalyst tube. And that's way overkill. That's way a lot more than we're gonna need. But that's an easy ratio that I can see and make sure that this stuff's not gonna harden too slow or too fast. Always have a place too for your stir stick to go. And I like to go ahead, just hit the brush with it. Kind of cuts down on your drips. And you wanna dip this guy, get it soaked. And then you're probably gonna need two hands to hold everything down. So what will happen is the resin will want to pick the cloth up off the surface. And you want to work the resin, like dab it, press it in, push it through the weave. And that's all we need for that first one. We're good. If we feel like we need to hit it a little bit more before we're done, we can. But again, like just one hand holding the cloth from sliding. You're good. Move on. Again, all we're doing is sealing holes. That's it. I don't want to be breathing carbon monoxide while I'm driving this truck. This truck, when it's cold, smokes. And at the current moment, the way the interior was, some of the smoke would come directly from the exhaust into the cab. You could see it. When it's warm, it's gone. So she's probably got some valve seals that need to come around or get replaced. This truck hasn't been driven much in the last 15 years. So my plan is to put 5,000 miles on it before I make any major mechanical decisions like that. You never know on these vehicles that have been sitting forever if something's going to change like that. If it's pouring smoke, that's a different story. But if it's just like light, kind of gray smoke, like what you would see from it burning oil, just give it a shot. You never know. Sometimes these rigs can kind of heal themselves just from getting driven and ran. Like the lubrication can come back to that seal and it can kind of start sealing again, not be so solid and like rigid. So we got that. I got one more spot up here. See if I can change the camera angle. So right here where we got a drain hole that doesn't exist anymore, we're gonna go ahead and glass her down. And I don't plan on mud holing this thing, so she'll never need a drain hole again. And honestly, in all my years of ownership of a vehicle, I've never pulled a drain plug in my life. I mean, I guess if you were in a flood, you're trying to save your car, you'd pull that plug and let all the water out after everything's kind of died down some on the flooding front, but never have I ever. So, all right, I'm gonna move to the other side here. Very gingerly touch my camera because got crap all over me. Same story on the other side. I'm gonna go take care of it before my resin gels, and I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's cured. Well, here we are, all glassed and filled. We got no more holes. Got a little corrosion action, but it's nothing the carpet won't cover up. But we pretty much just made a fishbowl over there. So we got some thick action and resin. I essentially just used the entire bucket so I wouldn't spill anything when I was going to throw it away. But yeah, she's all glassed in, and this section of the floor is stronger than the Dodge steel. So, you know, it's not the right way to do it, but it's going to work. And this old farm truck doesn't really need much more than this. This is, you know, we're trying to save money where we can on this low budget restoration. I'm going to go ahead and grab the carpet, get it thrown in. We're going to have to make some cuts, get it over the shifter, and then we'll have to notch out all the holes for the seat. And luckily, I think there ain't a whole lot else. Got some seatbelt holes, but that's about it. Oh, wrestle this carpet here. So there's not a lot of indications of how to put this other than the giant rubber mat that goes under the driver, under your feet. This thing it does have padding in the front, kind of where it counts, you know, over the transmission and part that kind of runs up to the firewall. Then they kind of stop it about halfway down, so you're kind of on your own after that. But I need to get it centered really in the cab. There are some like sewn edges on each side of this thing, so maybe that will help lining it up some. But the best bet is get one side or the other where you want it, and then pull it tight, and then make your cut. So I'll have to cut over this guy first, but we got to get it up under there far enough where it's actually supposed to go. So let's go ahead. I'm going to work on that for a minute, show you guys what it kind of looks like once we've sliced through the carpet there and gotten the shifter installed. All right, got the carpet placed in, got kind of everything centered around the transfer case shifter there. I'm gonna go ahead and ram the old weather stripping on, because the sill plates on this truck go over the top of the weather stripping. So to have the carpet tightened down, you really need to have your door weather stripping on first. And this stuff's going on super tight. Got this from, I believe, LMC Truck. Seems to fit great. Don't need any kind of adhesive to hold it on. The guy before me, he glued the whole thing, and man, don't do that to somebody. This stuff, it should fit really tight. You should have to kind of like slam it on, like you have to hit it. And if it's loose like that, there's something wrong. You probably have a really bad product, or I guess maybe enough of your vehicle could be rusted away. But this stuff should bite and hold itself in place. Shouldn't need to be glued. I mean, there's a time and place for weather stripping adhesive, and 9 times out of 10, it's not around your doors here. So don't be like the last guy and glue both of them on, and it took me like an hour to scrape all the crap off, and some of it was clear silicone, so it's not even the right stuff. Like, if you're gonna go all out, bring it. Bring the good stuff. I'm gonna go ahead, finish getting this guy put on. I'll do the other side. Then we'll start burning holes for our seat, all our seat belt attachments. And I do that with a soldering iron. So I'll show you guys that process here in just a minute. Let me finish getting these guys put on. All right, weather stripping all around the doors. What I think I'm gonna do now is take my trusty soldering iron, climb under the truck, well, shine all the holes, and just stab them from the bottom up. So I think that'll probably at least mark the hole. I'll probably waller them out a little bit better from the top when I'm done, but having to kind of flip back and forth, trying to line them up right, it's a little bit better. I mean, this truck has super easy access to all the holes from the bottom. Just go ahead and give them a little stab, a little wiggle, and burn on through that carpet. We'll have everything marked out. We'll start putting the seat belts in place, get everything in there, everything you want to put in before you put a seat in, because that's going to take away all your room. But we're going to get everything bolted in, set up, and we'll be hopefully putting the seat belts in here pretty quick. I'm going to go ahead and climb under, get this thing stabbed, and I'll show you guys what the holes look like when I'm done. All right, this is what it looks like after a little handiwork with the soldering iron. So we got our 2 seat holes, seat belt hole. Same thing on the other side, kind of hard to see from over here. But our seat belt mounting points here on the wall. And let's see, up top, right here. So that's our 3 points of mounting. And we'll go grab those and start putting those in, and we'll be hog ringing before you know it on that old seat. All right, seat belts here. So I think they gave us 3 different kinds of bolts. Somehow, I don't know if the threads are a tiny bit different on each, but on this Dodge, they all seem to bolt in really well. Let's go ahead and extend this guy down to where it bolts back in. One, two. Which one goes over here? So we got the black. Oh, we're gonna be short a bolt. Right? No. No, we're not. Just gotta figure out which one. Oh yeah, we're gonna be short a bolt. So these guys hold seatbelt in. Let me go look through my bolt pile of what I got left over. All right, I got a handful of ones that came out of the truck. Some of these guys are better than others. I think from the looks of them, they're all the same. So I'm just gonna try and pick out the 2 best looking ones. Roll with those guys. Because there's a little bit of difference. You can kind of tell the ones that have the seat belt. Let me see, they have the little pivot point. That might actually be better to use. I'm just kind of see what goes on these threads the best, honestly. All of these guys are on the floor in the corners. Threads are a little bit cooked. That one's going in nicely. I think we'll roll with it. So now with the aftermarket seatbelt system, we're running 3 different size bolt heads. That's always nice. Let's go ahead and we're gonna have to get everything tightened up. Then maybe I can adjust on this seat belt a little bit. But I think it's probably gonna live that way. There we go. Tightened up nice. We'll go ahead and lock these 3 bolts down and we'll move on to the driver's side. But brand new seat belts. These are from LMC Truck also. And I don't have a lap belt for the middle seat yet. I'll get that in the future. We're just kind of getting it at least ready for 2 people to drive around. So get this guy locked in right here, and then we're well on our way. All right, after the seat belts, I'm gonna tackle these sill plates. You should have existing bolt holes. Let's go ahead, use you some stainless hardware in this set, or in this spot here, because what'll happen is this area will get mud, water, any number of things, and the screws will rust. At least the heads will rust off. And you'll be real happy you had stainless. Trying to find some holes. This carpet, I left it a little bit long so these sill plates could kind of suck it down on the edges, and it's probably gonna fight me now. Well, I think I was in the right location. All right, well, I'll work on getting these guys tightened down. Maybe. Am I turning it into a self-tapper? It don't sound like it. All right, well, I'm gonna work on tightening these guys down, finding holes, drilling through carpet, and then we'll move on to some seat upholstery, my favorite thing on earth. Behind like the dentist. Oh, I know why that one's tough. There's a existing screw that broke off in there right in the location where I'm trying to screw. So I'm gonna have to get maybe a little self-tapper action first and then use the screw. Like, don't get a drill bit and use it what it's meant for, but yeah, we can make something work. I got one of them self-tappers somewhere. All right, we'll get this all fixed up, then we'll move on to the seat. All right, take a look at our old seat. Get you a good picture. Oh, see that pad over there just blown out, and that's driver's side. So, first thing on these, it's not 100% necessary, but I would do it. Just because trying to tuck the fabric up under here, I mean, you could technically try and roll her forward, maybe get you a little bit of space, but your best bet is take your two halves apart, separate your upper from your lower. And this guy, we actually got the little plastic cover on this side, which is a little shocking, but it's there. Take 5/8. And we're just gonna blow it apart. The old square body guys right here, if you didn't have your tilt seat where you could saw it apart and make yourself one, there we go. She's split apart. Man, it's dirty. I think we'll probably tackle the bottom first. Let's see. That's a really nice sound. Oh, and then it's gonna fall on me. So what you're gonna wanna do, man, this thing's, so this piece here used to be part of this piece here. You can kind of see there's a little bit of string remnants and it just falls all over my floor. What you need to do is go through, cut all these hog rings off. So this used to be connected to here, and that's why we're flapping a little bit. But you need to go all the way around the perimeter, cut all your hog rings, and then we'll place the new piece of fabric, pull it tight, and do the exact same process. We're gonna hog ring back to this seat frame, but I like to use sheet metal shears. We'll see. I don't think we're gonna be able to get into this one. Well, maybe. You get a little bit more leverage than like regular old wire cutters. You know, these things are big and they're meant to cut through, you know, flat sheet. But you can get a good angle on them and just snip them off. These guys are a little tougher than the ones that were on the Trans Am, but you kind of see my drift there. Just go around. All right, so I think the hog rings are all off. I can kind of roll this thing off. We can see what our cushion situation looks like. Uh-oh. We got a couple strays. So, I don't think they remake these exact cushions. So what I'm gonna do is just really stack some new material in there and go from there. So we're essentially just doing a patch job, which for this truck should be fine. Man, whoever that farmer was, he like left his imprint. You can that's like a DNA sample, that right butt cheek, left butt cheek. And you can tell which side he carried his wallet on, because the left one's got about 3 inches of depth versus the right one. Or he leaned out the window all the time. I don't know. But man, the rest of it, solid. Just right here is kind of our problem area. So I'm gonna grab our patch stuff and again, scrape the metal legs on the concrete, make that awful noise. I'm gonna grab our patches, start kind of trimming that stuff out, and we'll be, having a normal looking seat in no time. All right, so on this LMC bench seat repair kit, man, they give you enough foam to essentially recover your whole seat if you're totally blown out, but we're just gonna use enough. I'm gonna cut, say about right there. Cut, and then we got this stuff. I'm not sure exactly if they want you to use this on the bottom or the top, but I'm gonna kind of use this as a little bit of a solid surface to ramp from the old cushion to the new. That way you don't really see a seam on the seat maybe. Might help cover it up. But I think that's probably what they want you to do with this. I don't know. They just call this, no, that's not thick foam padding. That is seat cushion sections of heavy duty carpeting substrate. No idea what they want you to do with that. All right. Well, I think we'll be fine mashing this stuff on, getting a little bit of a cover job there, and our seat back, we'll have extra cushion left over in case we got any trouble areas on the back, but I don't think so. It looks pretty good. So go ahead and get this stuff cut. And we'll start attaching it to the seat. As you can see, we got the farmer's butt cheeks all patched up. And I've been sitting, pressing them in, and I think we're to the point where we're above, the point where it smashes and goes into that hole. So I think I want to at least just kind of wrap the material on and see what it looks like right now before, if we're going to use that blanket or not. Just want to wrap it on there and see if we even need it. If we don't, leaving it off. All right, so I got the new fabric kind of just loosely stretched. I can kind of feel, a little bump here, but I think we really suck the fabric down with the hog rings, that we'll be fine. So I'm not really gonna worry about it right now. I think we're good the way we got it. When we pull this thing super tight, cinch it down, we should be fine. And if not, after sitting on it for a couple weeks, you probably won't know the difference anyways. So I'm gonna go ahead, get a blanket at least put down on the floor, and we'll start hog ringing this thing. So hog ringing on something like this, center out. So you can start on the center, go left side, right side, however you want to do, but don't ever start on one end and go to the other. Your seat will never look right. Center out. All right. So we kind of loosely got our cover on here, making sure we're kind of even side to side. Because you're about to start locking her in. Kind of want to make sure your middle lines up with your middle. And your hog ring pliers are super easy. You just kind of fit it in the grooves there in the center. You'll have a piece of fabric that'll have a rod in it. Just gonna puncture through, squeeze till it bends around. There you go. So, like I said, work from the inside out. And then when we get to the back, we're gonna pull pretty dang hard. So that kind of helps suck the cushion down, get all the wrinkles out, and just form the cover to the cushion. So I'm gonna go ahead and work my way all the way around this thing, hog ringing. If anything's tricky, I'll kind of show you guys. But this is pretty straightforward stuff. If you've ever reupholstered anything, you know your way around a couple hog ring pliers. I don't know what they made those old factory hog rings out of, but they're a whole lot stouter than these guys I'm using, I can tell you that. Whew, couldn't even barely cut through them with the sheet metal pliers. So you can tell it's getting a little tighter over here. And that's probably from all the extra cushion. If I had to guess. All right, well, I'm gonna work on this. Getting everything snug down. And again, pay no attention to the wrinkles. We're gonna be tightening it a bunch here. All right, so this wasn't incredibly bad, but I mean, I got hot enough where I had to take the beanie off. Cause man, you gotta get in there with them hog rings and squeeze. So if you got arthritis or what is that rheumatoid arthritis, stay away. Don't even attempt it. But there's a little bit of a ramp up. You can kind of see it right here. I think with a little bit of wear, you know, this cushion hasn't had a chance really to fill in. I think sitting on it, this thing's gonna flatten out. We'll be fine. And even really when you stand back and look at it when you're not touching it, you can't really tell. So I think we're fine. A little bit of a ramp up, but hey, that just means we got a chance to imprint our own butt cheeks in this cushion. Man, they don't know nothing about them butt cheeks. That ain't nothing but 210 pounds of Texas steel and sex appeal. Oh man, is my mic still on? Man, just found an old pin treasure in the back from the First National Bank in Hutchinson, Kansas. Funny thing is, I've actually been there for work. A lot of oilfield stuff going on out there. So this is the top of the seat from the back. Some of you square body boys might have a full back, you know, full vinyl back here, no exposed foam like this guy. That just mean you're hog ringing down here. So what we're gonna do, we gotta cut all the hog rings off. Actually, this is just plasticed in. All your tension and everything from your hog rings is down here. So we'll be unsnapping the top, cutting off all the hog rings on the bottom. And again, I like to take the sheet metal pliers, grip the hog ring twist. It either breaks it or twists it enough where you can just pull it out. I'm not cutting them all. That's not the right thing to do. Just twist them, get them where they're kind of misaligned now, and you just pull it out. I'm gonna go ahead and work on all this guy, and if you can't tell, I'm getting worn out. The old upholstery work will just put the squeeze on you more ways than one. And I'm gonna finish this, seat bolted in, and man, all I got's visors. Please God, give me a sun visor. All right, so for the top, all the cushion looks pretty good. We got a little bit of a ding right here, but I don't think it's bad enough to even put any cushion on. Looks fine to me. But what you're gonna wanna do again, get this stuff wrapped around. And the design on this one is a little bit different than what came off. Like with that plastic, don't have that on the new one. We have like a hog ring set up, and I'm gonna kind of do my best to adapt this guy over, make it work. Kind of not making any promises on it, but you know, we'll give it our best shot to get it on there, make it look right. I'm pretty confident. I haven't been defeated by a seat yet in my life, but there's always a first for everything. How's it looking? Okay, so that's definitely gonna have to come around the outside. Get this thing just wrestled really where the foam fills the cover, and then I can go from there, you know, looking at what I'll be hog ringing, how I'm gonna get this. Oh, this top piece does have a lip. Yes. I was looking at it and it kind of looked like something you would hog ring. She does have a lip. Thank you, Dodge. So this truck's a 1984, and on LMC truck, they do not make specific seats for this year model. I don't know, man. There's just so much weird about this generation of Dodge. Like why you can't find anything for them, like headlight bucket stuff and parking lights and the lenses and the bumpers. Like why'd they pick 84? And is that why I got it cheap? Probably had something to do with it. So I'm just trying to work this plastic, I don't know, it's like a rail, kind of up in to its spot. Just jam it up in there, and of course there's some rust and crap built up on this rail, but I'll get it. Man, it looks better already, just like this. But yeah, I'm gonna have to wrestle with this thing a little bit, and then we'll pull around the sides and we'll do one side at a time, just kind of like the setup before. Do one side in the middle, one side in the middle. Work from the middle out. And we'll do that on the bottom here, on the back, like where you put your butt, or where you put your lower back. We'll pull that tight, work from the inside out, hog ringing. So, all right, I'm gonna work on this guy a minute, get everything, you know, spiffied up, and I'll show you guys kind of what the finished seat looks like. All right, seat back, totally done. Hog ring in, used the plastic clip up top, had to wrestle with it to get it lined up quite a bit. Hog ring each side, hog ring the bottom. She's pulled pretty tight, pretty taut, so not gonna have any kind of wrinkling issues. The bottom is a little, I'd say a little loose for my liking, but it's one of those things that it's tight enough where the wrinkles are gonna come out, and especially sitting on it, you're gonna work the fabric. I'm gonna go ahead, wash my hands a little bit, and then we'll connect the top and the bottom, get them put back together, slid on in the truck, and man, we're one step closer to being done with this truck. Don't forget to put your holes on each side. Oh, for your pivot. Just kind of you'll feel kind of a giant hole through the vinyl. Just punch it with a razor blade. I kind of punch and twist around, kind of create a circle, and it's not a big giant hole. Then just thread your bolt in, Make sure it's gonna start. You're good. All right, let's marry the top and the bottom. Grab this guy. Oh. There we go. It's not the easiest by yourself, but we can get them lined up where we can at least get the bolt started. Maybe. All right. I can see the hole. This might be challenging. There we go. Might be cross-threading slightly. Nah, we got it in there, I think. Helps a little bit to have the other side lined up already. All right. Got those guys going. We'll go ahead and smoke them home. You don't want to go insane with your torque spec. I mean, it is just a seat, and it is a pivot point too. So I like it. The cushion is so much cushion that it's even a little hard to pivot. It's awesome. Well, how do y'all think it turned out? I mean, compared to what we started with, man, this thing looks amazing. I'm super happy with it. I'm gonna go ahead, get that little black plastic thing that was still somehow on the passenger side, get it back on, and then I'm gonna start wrestling the seat back into the truck. And y'all know it has studs on the bottom, so it's super easy. Just drop it on and tighten it up from the bottom. And it's either 1/2 inch or 9/16. I can't remember, but I'll grab my wrench and tighten her down, but let's get that on, and then you guys can watch me struggle putting this thing in by myself. Ugh. Lifting. Whew. All right. Oh, where do I grab? There's nowhere. Power Grayskull. You guys might be looking at the rusty sliders, but man, I normally take those apart and clean them a bunch on these trucks, but this one works. And I'm kind of the opinion, don't mess with it if it's actually working. Whew. You know what would have made this job easier? 2 people. Oh, I'm getting there. Totally getting there. Maybe one more. Oh, how far off? Kind of can't tell. Okay, that was a good one. Why isn't the front going through? There we go. Man, there ain't a lot of thread that goes through on them seats. Dodge was cutting her close. I mean, it's like 3 threads of engagement under the truck. I mean, I guess the carpet, I need to come this way. There we go. She fell right into place. All right. Man, what a difference. I can't even believe it. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to put my legs under the steering wheel here. Jeez. We got cushion. Good Lord, this thing looks really nice. I'm gonna go ahead, tighten everything up, tackle the sun visors, call it a day. We're done. We are totally done. Totally got a big chunk of dirt in my eye, tightening the seat down. Last bolt too. Went to the eye wash station, and by eye wash, I mean throwing water from a jug into my eye. It works sometimes. But yeah, she's still not super happy right now, I can tell you. Whoa, this thing is froze up. Holy crap. Should be able to rotate this. Maybe. Maybe we'll just try and get it out the way it is. A little rusty, like solid, totally rusted solid in there. All the same kind of screw, that's nice. Still got the shift pattern there on the visor, so she's original. And you can tell. I'm gonna line up how we're going back in, just to make sure I'm not doing anything wrong. And this thing should just pull out. And there's, oh yeah, of course, there's a treble hook on it. That's awesome. I almost stabbed my hand into it. I just thought it was like some decoration, but nope. There's a hook. Oh, muscle it out. Oh, I guarantee you, going back in the new one will not be as hard. And that always worries me. These guys, at least, they stayed up. Some of these new ones, they're a little questionable. Like more than a little questionable. Try and find exactly where you need to stab into it here. All right, punctured the vinyl. Don't know if I'm in or not. Maybe. I mean, if that's going in, that's the tightest one I've ever felt that's aftermarket. Yeah, I think. Oh yeah. It's going in, but it's slow. There we go. I like this thing on the Dodge. The rod is super long. That's great. Some of these things you pull out, the rod is only like 4 inches long, and man, that ain't enough. Ain't enough real estate to get a good grab on the visor. Whew, I'm worn out. My eyes are, well, just really my left eye. Oh, it's full of dirt. I can feel it every time I blink or move my eye. One or the other. Good Lord. This visor better work. As much as I'm twisting on it here. I mean, this thing should be stout. It's getting there. And some guys, man, you got to pull these back out, put electrical tape on them to kind of tighten them up. And that's an even higher level of crappiness trying to push it in. Like, we're fighting this, but put a couple layers of electrical tape and try and do it, and it's that much worse. Oh, I'm almost to the point where only the rusty part is showing. That's pretty much my indicator. Come on. Got like half an inch. There we go. We're calling that good. All right. Button her down, put her up, call it a day. I'll tell you right now, that thing ain't falling down. Holy crap, it's like hard to move it. Good job, LMC, whoever you're ordering it from, or if you guys are making them or what. But that's about the best sun visor I've ever bought. It's never gonna move, and that's fine with me. If I got the sun coming in my eyes, it's easier to put the the sunglasses on than it is to put the visor down. I like it that way. Go ahead and take care of the other side, and then we'll finish her up. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed another episode on the old Dodge. There ain't gonna be a whole lot more of them. I mean, we're getting close to the very end. I mean, this is kind of getting close to as far as I like to take things that aren't like a super collectible. I mean, even then, I don't like to take them much further because I want to drive them. I don't want, stuff to sit in this shop. I want to be on the road, and then I don't want to worry about parking in a Walmart parking lot. So, don't completely spend like 20 grand on a paint job and, be sad that you got a door ding. But we're getting close, man. The interior is mint. It is perfect. We got a little bit of a hump, but not much. And I mean, even after me sitting in it, doing the visors, it lowered itself some. So that kind of tells you, it's going to press into that hole, and it's going to just kind of slowly but surely flatten out. I got door panels to do. Probably going to do that off camera. Door panels, the window seals, the little wiper things that you put on the inside and the outside. And I mean, I don't know, put the ashtray in. It's just been hanging out somewhere. Now I got to find that. Great. But now I'm getting close. Totally a cobweb right there. Man, the doors ain't even gonna want to close. Them weather stripping's so good now. It's like a airtight. I don't want to close, but no, it's probably because it's oversized and it's gonna have to get worn in. That's just about everything you buy these days. Your door is gonna be hard to shut for, I don't know, it could be a year, honestly. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed another episode on the old Dodge. We'll maybe have a couple more, and that'd be about it. So maybe go back, rewind, watch everything from the beginning to the end, see what we started with, because it was a total turd, and it was cheap and didn't run, but it had a title. So, I mean, that's a W right there. But I hope y'all enjoyed it. Until you see my next video, man, just go out, do something that makes you happy, but make sure you're doing it on full blast. I'll see y'all later.